disturbing facts that will probably disturb you even if you're not easily disturbed. Part 82. Sylvester Graham, aka the inventor of the graham cracker, who actually invented the graham cracker because he thought it would help prevent people from masturbating, the original clean-eating guru and vegetarian pioneer who shunned alcohol, lust, meat, and even white bread, died at the age of 57 of complications from an opium enema. Graham, look, you might not have been, but I guarantee you that you had some kind of pleasure from that opium enema. You ain't got a lot of kick it, homeboy. The 1967 Connington rail crash, which killed 5 people and injured 18, was caused by signalman Robert Frost deliberately changing the points under the moving train. Frost never explained why he'd done it, and he only spent 2 years in prison. Robert, what the hell, man? Across the span of 4 decades, Walter Freeman had personally performed possibly as many as 4,000 lobotomies on patients as young as 12 years old, despite the fact that he had no formal surgical training. As many as 100 of his patients died of cerebral hemorrhage. Why do people be wanting to play doctor? Like, if you want to impersonate a profession, go to Walmart and start scanning people's groceries. Why do you want to impersonate someone that is responsible for people's lives? In medieval Japan, there is a practice of Buddhist monks observing asceticism, which is severe self-discipline and avoidance of all forms of indulgence, typically for religious reasons. Maybe that's what our graham cracker guy was trying to do. No, that's not true, because he was getting opium up the butt. Anyway, a monk completed the process over about 3,000 days. It involved a very strict diet, and the monk would abstain from any cereals and relied on pine needles, resins, and seeds found in the mountains, which would eliminate all fat in the body. Increasing rates of fasting and meditation would lead to starvation. The monks would slowly reduce their liquid intake and then stop completely, thus dehydrating the body and shrinking all the organs. The monks would then die in a state of meditation while chanting a mantra about Buddha, and their body would become naturally preserved as a mummy with skin and teeth intact without decay and without the need of any artificial preservatives. So basically, they would mummify themselves alive. Execution by elephant was a method of capital punishment in South and Southeast Asia, particularly in India, where Asian elephants were used to crush, dismember, or torture captives during public executions. I think elephants are super cool, but I'm also slightly terrified of them ever since I saw that video of that girl trying to be sweet to an elephant and it just like yeeted her across the way. Don't fuck with elephants. The Clown Motel is a motel between Vegas and Reno, which is said to be America's scariest motel, with over 4,000 pieces of clown memorabilia and 600 clown statues. I don't even know if I'm scared of clowns or not. I just recently went to the circus, but they didn't have any clowns there. They just had trapeze artists and beautiful women stacking themselves on top of each other. Susan Marie Powell disappeared in 2009. Her husband, Joshua Powell, was named by law enforcement as a person of interest in her disappearance, but was never charged. Joshua killed himself and the couple's 2 young sons in February of 2012 after custody of the boys was granted to Susan's parents. The police closed their active investigation into Susan's disappearance in May 2013, stating their belief that Joshua murdered Susan and that his brother Michael, who also killed himself in February of 2013, aided him in concealing her body. Since then, there have been repeated attempts to have Susan legally declared dead. If her body was never found, then there might be a chance that she's still alive. And I just want to say, Susan, if you're watching this, baby, please reach out. We're worried about you. On August 29th, 2005, when Hurricane Katrina struck the Gulf Coast, staff of Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office abandoned the jail, leaving roughly 650 prisoners in their cells with no access to food, water, or ventilation for days. While there is no official death count for the prisoners that were left behind, 517 prisoners were later registered as unaccounted for. I read a couple of testimonies on prisoners that were able to escape, and they said that they were in chest-deep water for days, and that eventually it started eroding away at the walls until they were able to kick the walls down and escape. But I'm just saying, if that was me and I survived and I was able to escape, I would want vengeance on the people that left me there. I would be running through that flooded water and I'd be screaming. Thanks for watching.